Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. I promise you won't regret it. Today I will be showing you how I made this beautiful beaded necklace. Stay tuned. Materials needed include sand beads. This is like the white color. You're going to also need another one, but these ones are quite smaller. I'm not very good with measurement numbers, but this one should be like 1 mm and this one should be like 2 mm. So this is purple color and this is the white color. I'm going to be needing antique beads too. These ones are just the antique accessories that I'm going to be adding to my work. As you can see, this one I used it right here. So I'm also going to be using another antique accessory, and that will be this one right here. They're quite wide, so I used it in between my wooden beads. I'm also going to be using wooden beads. So, and yeah, I'm going to also be using like a hook for the necklace. There you have it. So this is a hook, and it usually comes with like the other part of it, like the other part of the hook. So I'm going to be needing a hook. I'm going to be needing like transparent yarn. Yeah, you should, I would advise that you get the thinnest that you can find. I think it's 0.5 mm for this one. They are really thin. I'm going to be using crimp beads. These are like beads that you can crimp together just to like help you to secure the ends of your jewelry. I'm going to be using a beading plier. This one you can find at every craft store. I'm going to be also needing a scissors. I'm going to be needing measuring tape, a big needle but with a very slim upper part where the yarn and the yarn goes through. Why am I calling it yarn? That's what it's called in German. So and I'm also going to be using very tiny needles to pick the sand beads. Let's get started. Now you're going to be needing your transparent fishing line or thread with a needle, and I'm going to take one white seed bead like this, and I'm going to pass the needle right through the seed bead like this, just to create some sort of security for my bead so that it just don't fall right off. Now I'm going to take 9 more. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. So plus this one that I already have here, I'm going to have 10. And then I'm going to take one purple seed bead or sand bead. So I'm going to keep going, counting 10 and then I put a purple one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and a purple one. And I'm going to do this 11 times. So this is 1, 2, 10, and I will have one purple bead. That one is too small to go through the needle, so I'll just pick another purple bead. Yeah. So there we have it. I'll be back when I have the 11 beads. Now I have my beads, the white ones in 11 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and it's about 27.5 centimeters long. Now I'm going to join the rest of them together. I'm going to be needing about 10 of that, or depends on how many you want, but I have here 10 strands of beads. So I'm going to be joining them together, and I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this. So the first side I have already done. As you can see, I have placed like other beads, my wooden beads and my antique beads on this side. So now I'm going to show you how I achieved this, and how I'm going to also be doing the same thing on the other side. You want to get a bigger needle for this, and you are going to put all 10 strands into this bigger needle so that you can work with all 10 strands. So I already have 2 strands in here, and I'm just going to be putting in the rest of my strands like this. This can be quite challenging, but it's what I have done. So you want to put the strands one after the other into the needle. So I have 3 in now, and I'll be back when I have all 10 in. So now I have all my 10 strands in the bigger needle. The next thing I'm going to do is to use my crimp beads. Some people call them stoppers. They are like beads that you can press together to keep your beads intact. So I'm just going to pick, I'm also using an antique color. So I'm going to pick 2 crimp beads. They are really tiny. You might not be able to see them, but I have one now on my needle. So I'm going to pass it through the needle. That's 1. And I'll get 2. I'm using 2 just to be able to secure it properly, and that's the second one, and I have passed it through my needle. Now I have my crimp bits in my, I've passed it through the needle and through the strand. I'm just going to pull it down like that. You want to be careful not to lose your strands from the needle because they are quite challenging to put them back into the needle. So now that I have my 2 crimp beads, I'm just going to be pressing them down, and with this I'm going to be using a beading plier. So I'll make sure that my beads are well aligned, because once I press I cannot adjust them anymore. So this is what I am trying to achieve. I want to make sure they're together. So if you want, you might want to pull the strands out one after the other. Like that. And then with the help of your plier, you're going to be pressing down your crimp beads. Make sure they are all staying together and that no one is hanging back. So now that I have that, I'll just press them one after the other like that. And the second one too, I'll press it like that. This is just to make sure that the white sand beads don't go anywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut out 6 of these strands. I've been able to secure them properly here, so I don't need all the 10 strands anymore. So I'm just going to bring out 6 of the strands and cut them off. This would make my job a lot easier. So one, you might want to take them from both sides. So I'll take 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and I'll be left with just 4 strands. So I'll be left with 4 strands on my needle. So these 6 strands, I will be cutting them off with, you can either use a cutter or a scissors. So I have 3 here now. You want to be really careful not to destroy your whole beads. So now I have successfully cut out the 6 strands, and I'm left with 4. Oh no, I think I cut out 5. Just going to cut out the last one now. I cut out 5, so I'm going to cut out the last one to make sure I really cut out 6 strands, because I only need 4 strands. So now I'm going to continue beading with the other beads like this. So the first thing I'm going to use is a sort of closure, something like this that I already have here. So it's going to look something like this, and you can see I already used it here. So I'm going to also pass it through the needle like this, so that it covers up the crimp beads that I used there. So once I have that in, then I'll continue with my wooden beads and my antique beads. I'm just going to be passing it through the needle. The needle makes your work easier, or yeah, your life easier, so to say, so to speak. So yeah, I'm just going to continue like this till I have it looking exactly like this. So I'm going to have 3 big wooden beads. Two medium ones with an antique bead right in the middle of each one. And I'll be back when I have exactly this to show you how I'm going to attach my hook to my chain, to my bead. So now I have put in all my beads, and you can see both sides are looking the same. So now I'm just going to use one of my white sand beads again, just to protect this side. I used it on this side actually, but it has gone in to the wood, but I'm still going to use it on this side again. So once I have it out, the next thing I want to do is to also put, I used also 2 crimp beads on this side. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So you're going to pick 2 crimp beads again. I'm just going to use the ones that are quite bigger. So these are the crimp beads. I don't know if you can see them. So I'm just going to push them down my needle into the strands. So I have 2 in, and the next thing I'm going to do is to take my hook. So this is my hook right here. So this is the hook I'm going to be using to close it all up. So I'm going to pass it also through the needle like that. And once it is in, it must pass through the 4 strands. So once it is in, I pass my needle again through the crimp beads one more time. These are the crimp beads, and I pass my hook is on this side, as you can see, it's dangling, and then I pass my needle again through the crimp beads. just like that. So I think only 2 went through, so I have to do the other 2 manually. And that is going to, like, oh, did I? Oh, I think I have it all through. Yes. Okay, so I have it all through, all 4 strands through my crimp beads. So I'm just going to move it down like this. So I'm going to move it all down like this, and I'm going to use my plier now to press it down again. But before you press it down, you want to make sure that everything is in place. You want to make sure that your beads are in place. Everything looks good. These 2 sides are covering where you walked, and then you can press it down like that. So there we have it. Once you press it down, now you want to cut the rest of your strands off with a scissors or a cutter. And there you go. You have your beads all done. This can be worn casually to occasions. There you have it. It's really easy to make. And yeah, it looks expensive and lovely. Yeah. And that's it. I hope you can make this, and let me know if you find it easy, if it was difficult. Please leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.